What do you think of the latest elections coming up in a few weeks' time?
Well, the latest elections are once again a sign of the best democracy in the world right now, which is running in this rainbow nation. When I say best democracy, which country have you ever seen mocking their president openly in newspapers, putting shower on his head, painting him in a very derogatory way, uh, and still getting away with it? Nobody says or does anything, letting them do that. Yes, they call it freedom of speech. There's a big difference in freedom of speech and democracy. I think they're overdoing it here, and still the government is letting them do that.
Also, at the funeral service of Nelson Mandela, there was a lot of booing in the stadium, and the crowd
100%.
the crowd really spoke out, and that that was the whole world watching our country.
Sorry,
Now,
let me correct. The crowd did not speak out. There was a certain group of people, once again, set up there to do that, where the world is watching and should put your president down. Now, those people could have been identified on cameras and could have been taken to the task.
it also wasn't the time or the place to.
That was not a political rally. There was nothing. It was mourning going on. Whoever did that showed his shallowness. But look at the democracy of this country once again. The democracy um, spearheaded by President Zuma himself. He did not took any action against those people and let it pass by because he believes in democracy. A very um quick example: uh, United States of America is supposed to have the biggest democracy in the world. Recently, a character from a television series in USA, which the guy was acting as a satanic cult leader, was dropped out of the series just because he looked like President Obama. Just
Oh,
because he looked like President Obama, it was all dropped. But here, everything is being done straight away against President Zuma, and still the government lets it pass by, which is actually going an extra mile in democracy, I would say.
yeah.
I've never seen any such example. You'll be prosecuted, you will be jailed for doing any such atrocities against the president of the country.
Yes.
You should have some kind of a pride. By booing the president, by mocking the president, you're mocking yourself, you're booing yourself in front of the world. President is elected by the majority and by the ruling party.
Okay, and what do you think about the corruption scandal that's going on at the moment about Jacob Zuma's Nkandla estate?
In Kandla, in Kandla, in Kandla. Well, I would answer that question first of all in a way that if you have you or anybody has seen Monticello report about in Kandla, nobody has seen that. Has anybody scrutinized that report, even if I've seen that? No. Has it been debated about? No. And already it is thrown out as corruption, corruption, corruption. If that is corruption, one in Kandla state, I would like to bring out, if I'm given authority, I would like to bring out all for hundreds of years what has been taken from this country and from black people. Let's bring everything out on the table. In Kandla would look like a grain of sand on the beach to you. The amount of monies that have been taken away. Till today, 70% of economy or money, should say, is still with the apartheid regime people.
Okay, there's a whole thing about that in Kandla estate going on. People say that taxpayers' money was actually used to build that huge estate for his family, his extended family. And do you believe that is true, or do you believe that it's his own money that he saved up, or
Look, I have absolutely no idea whether he saved up that money or what was it government money used. If it was government money, then must be through some proper authorities. If not, it will be debated and scrutinized in Parliament, and the truth will come out. But till then, we should not call it a corruption. We should not point fingers at it. We are not in a position to do that. If anybody is in a position to do that, then, as I said, bring out everything on the table and see where the corruption ended. Today, people have got 99-year leases of mines. They've got the prime properties around the ports of South Africa.
yeah?
Then all of them should come out and see who is paying the taxes. This is all media driven propaganda.
Okay, so you feel like he's our president is being picked on,
Most definitely he is. Very wrongfully.
so he's been singled out.
Very much so.
Okay, and what do you think, and why do you think the public should vote in this upcoming election?
Well, if you're asking
What
me,
difference will it make?
well, the difference would, if South African people are basically, they came out of, as I earlier said, hundreds of years of slavery. They still are very innocent. They don't know what they see on the media. They perceive it as, after a couple of days, they perceive as their own thoughts and start talking negative about it. But if they neutrally sit down, come to the neutral ground and think, 20 years of democracy in which South Africa has really moved forward. The world economy is in a slump. People in South Africa are still living much better. America is virtually bankrupt. Europe, many countries have gone bankrupt and living on from loans from IMF and God knows other international fundraising companies. South Africa is still sitting very nicely, and that's because of the policies of ANC. So if you ask who am I going to vote for, that is for ANC. My vote is for ANC, and I would request the entire South African public to calm down, do not listen to the media, think what they have achieved in these 20 years, what they have achieved in past 5 years where there millions of jobs have been created. Yes, more jobs were promised, but it's not a magic one where you just spin it around and in 5 years all millions of jobs. There have been, houses have been given and created, uh, jobs have been created, economy is doing, besides pressure from the world economy is still doing better. You are still living very nicely. And for your future, for your children, your answer is ANC, who all this time fought for you, gave you the freedom, and in the future will look after your children. If you do not become rich, I understand, but your children will become rich. There is no such country in the world or nation in the world where everybody is rich. Poor, rich will happen, but everybody will be living happily in harmony. Give ANC definitely some more time. ANC is still, this democracy, ANC is still, I should say, a baby. It's growing, and it's growing very nicely. Think your time is past. Your children, future is ahead of you, and ANC is the answer to that. If you don't do that, once again, you will be locked in a very legal apartheid, where you will get jobs, but very minor jobs. The black empowerments, all these kind of policies are introduced by ANC, and they are doing better by the day, by the time.
Thank you, Mr. Agha, for giving us your political views on South Africa and the upcoming elections. Really appreciate it. And thanks everyone for tuning in.
Thank you very much. Thank you.